My name's Nathan, and I'm about to tell you a story that nearly broke me. I was 23 when I married Delilah. She was the kind of woman who could walk into a room and make every head turn, not just because she was beautiful, but because she had this confidence that made you want to believe she had it all figured out. I was head over heels for her. I still remember our wedding day like it was yesterday. The way she laughed during our vows, the warmth of her hand in mine. At the time, I thought I was the luckiest man alive. We built a life together in Asheville, North Carolina. I worked as a carpenter and later started my own home renovation business, while Delilah stayed home to raise our 2 children, Noah and Grace. They were the center of my world. We weren't rich, but our life had meaning. I poured my sweat into our house literally. Every nail, every board, every upgrade was something I had done with my own 2 hands. And for a while, things were good. Also, I thought, around year 9 of our marriage, things began to change. Delilah started taking longer to get ready. Before she left the house, putting on more makeup, buying new dresses, hitting the gym again. At first, I was proud of her. I thought maybe she was just doing something for herself, finding her confidence again after years of motherhood. But then she began going out more girls' nights, she'd say. Spa days, just need time for myself. I chalked it up to her needing space. I didn't question it because I trusted her completely. God, I was a fool. Then came the secrets. Her phone, which she used to leave on the kitchen counter without a second thought, now never left her side. She'd take it into the bathroom. She'd sleep with it under her pillow. One night, she was in the shower, and I saw a text flash across her screen. It was from someone named Jaden. Just 3 words, last night unforgettable. My heart stopped. I didn't want to believe it. I convinced myself maybe it was a joke, something innocent. But the next few weeks were a spiral of anxiety and paranoia. Finally, one night, I couldn't take it. While she slept, I looked through her phone. What I found shattered me. Explicit messages, pictures, voice notes, months of betrayal. Jaden wasn't just a fling. He was someone she'd been seeing behind my back, someone she'd fallen in love with. As she put it in one of the texts, I confronted her that night. I was angry, hurt, humiliated, but I kept calm. I needed answers. And you know what she said? "You're always working. You're never here. Jaden makes me feel seen." She didn't cry. She didn't apologize. She just stared at me coldly, like I was the one who had failed her. A week later, she filed for divorce. I didn't even have time to process it. One moment I was trying to save my marriage. The next I was being served papers by a courier like I was some stranger. The court hearings were brutal. Despite everything, I lost nearly everything. Delilah got the house, full custody of Noah and Grace, a massive chunk of my income for alimony and child support. The judge didn't care about texts or betrayal. He only saw a working-class man who spent long hours away from home. Delilah was the nurturing stay-at-home mother. She won on every front. And then, she turned my kids against me. It started small. During visitations, they'd act distant, cold. Noah wouldn't make eye contact. Grace barely spoke. Then came the words I'll never forget. "Mom says, you didn't love us enough to stay." That broke me. I tried to explain. I tried to show up with gifts, love, patience, but every visit ended in tears, mine or theirs. They had been brainwashed. Their image of me was filtered through Delilah's bitterness. I was no longer dad. I was the guy who abandoned them. Eventually, I stopped fighting. I figured maybe time would heal things. Maybe they'd grow up and see the truth one day. Meanwhile, Delilah and Jaden were living what appeared to be a dream life. Fancy vacations to Aruba, Instagram reels of them skiing in Aspen, new cars, designer clothes. It was like they were starring in a romantic drama funded by my sweat and tears, and they weren't shy about flaunting it. Grace once said, "Jaden takes care of us better than you ever did." She was 11 point, but karma doesn't miss. 3 years after the divorce, I began hearing whispers from mutual friends. Jaden had lost his job. Turns out, he'd faked much of his credentials. His tech startup was a glorified Ponzi scheme. He had defaulted on several loans, racked up credit card debt in Delilah's name, and then vanished. Poof, just like that. He drained their joint savings, sold the car, and left her with nothing but a foreclosure notice and 2 kids. Delilah went from flaunting her new life to disappearing completely from social media. Her Facebook went silent. Her Instagram wiped clean. I'll admit it, part of me took some grim satisfaction in that. I felt like the universe had handed down some form of justice, but I also didn't care to gloat. I had rebuilt my life. I'd moved to a smaller town outside Nashville, started a new company, and even begun dating someone kind and genuine, Rachel, a nurse with a heart 10 times the size of anyone I've ever known. Then, one rainy evening, my phone rang. It was an unknown number. I answered. "Nathan, it's me, Delilah." I hadn't heard her voice in over a year. She sounded broken, hollow. "I know I'm the last person you want to hear from," she began, "but I need your help." I wanted to hang up right there, but I didn't. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was closure I never got. She went on to explain how Jaden had left her with nothing, that she was working 2 part-time jobs, barely making rent, that the kids missed me, that she realized now how badly she had screwed up. I was selfish, blind. "You were a good husband, Nathan. I see that now." Then came the real reason for the call. "I want to come back. I want us to be a family again." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. After all the humiliation, the betrayal, the stolen years with my children, she thought I'd just welcome her back. "I'm not the man I was," I told her. "I spent years crawling out of the hole you left me in. I built something new, something honest. I won't destroy that for you." Then she dropped the final card. "Noah and Grace want to see you again. They've changed. They know the truth now." And that was the hardest part. My heart clenched at the idea. I missed them every day. I dreamed of Grace's laugh, of playing catch with Noah in the backyard I built. But the scars were deep. "I love them," I said, "but I won't step back into your world just to be used again. They're nearly grown now. If they want to find me, they can. But I'm not coming back through your door." Delilah started crying. "You don't mean that." But I did. Hanging up that phone, it was like closing a chapter that had haunted me for nearly a decade. The rain outside had stopped. The air smelled fresh. Do I sometimes wonder if I was too harsh? Of course. What father wouldn't second guess that kind of decision? But then I remember the nights I spent alone, staring at a ceiling I didn't build, wondering if I even mattered anymore. I've learned something powerful in all of this. Sometimes the people who break you will come back not because they love you, but because they're drowning, and you are not their lifeboat. Life is too short to offer second chances to those who deliberately destroyed your first. Letting go wasn't just healing, it was survival. And if you're reading this, wondering whether to reopen a door someone slammed in your face, let me say this: don't chase what's already lost. Sometimes, the strongest thing you can do is walk away and keep walking.